Hi guys, welcome to Spring 2020 for West Elm. As we go through the store, we'll walk through the Decorator Concept, the Pure Concept, Modern Concept, and talk about a lot of the exciting changes in tabletop and bedding. Hi guys, welcome to the Decorator Concept for Spring 2020. This season in Decorator, we have lots of new exciting textiles and accessories to show you, and we'll just point those out as we go through. All stores will be leading in with this mid-century dining footprint where we have our new Gemstone Dinnerware. So one of the big themes for Decorator this season is a much more feminine touch and approach to everything we do instead of just textiles. So as you see, the Gemstone Dinnerware has very nice octagonal lines and a very soft finish, which ties into the whole theme. There's lots of color in Decorator this season, so we've paired the Esme glassware in the pink with this beautiful white dinnerware and lots of brass and gold to bring out that whole idea of femininity. Carrying on through the Decorator Concept, we'll walk into our first footprint for the season. So the Andes Sectional, which you've had on your floor for a very long time, this season gets a small update paired with these new chairs in the rust color. These chairs are a throwback to the 70s with fabric going all the way to the floor, which is a very unique finish for West Elm, and it's the first time we're trying this. And you'll see in the pillow wall that the Andes sits in front of, we have basically all of our textiles in Decorator that have color pulled together. So in this wall, there are several new pillows of pattern and several new pillows of solid. So in velvet, there are 4 to 5 different solid prints this season, depending on the assortment in your store. We have the Lush velvet, which you've had for a long time. And then we've got this new linear cut velvet, which comes in 3 colors, which can be thought of as a solid color and paired with more fun pattern pillows. Or if you don't like lots of pattern, you can use this as a pattern pillow. We've also got the embroidered velvet, which comes in this really exciting yellow color and a pink color also you can tie back. And then the new pattern pillows for the season are these metallic pillows that come in 3 different sizes. So these are a huge buy for us for the season. They're really great to tie back to the Lush velvet, which we know do so well, and bring out all those Decorator hints for people. One thing you'll notice that is new in this wall is that there's hints of black. So this black embroidery in this pillow ties back to the black in the solid linear cut velvet, which ties back to the black Mongolian that you see here. Black is a really big trend this season, so what we've tried to do instead of just doing a black and white story is bring black into the really cool Decorator colors that we need to do so well for us. So when you set this wall, you'll notice a lot of the variety of color together versus on the other wall that we'll show you in a few minutes, it's much tamer and calmer colors for Decorator. Everyone will also have the silhouette dining table in their store with the Decorator Concept. Here in the larger stores, we have the 60-inch silhouette round table. Most of you will have the small 44, which is your bestseller, but obviously this is available in comms to sell to all customers. The way this table is set is a little bit different than we've done in the past. So instead of having place settings for everyone, there's a build out with a tray, glasses, flatware, serveware, just to kind of show people things you can pull together if you're entertaining or want to have people over. As we walk through to the other side of Decorator, we're going to pass our brand new dining table. So this is the mix and match dining table in the winter white. This is the large size. It comes in 2 sizes, so some of the smaller stores will have the smaller size. This is a brand new collection for West Elm, and we're trialing it in this specific size, which is exclusive to our market. And we've paired it back with the blush mid-century and the gray mid-century chairs, again to play on that feminine idea. This one is layered with our metallic dinnerware from last season, which is now a core collection that will carry forward for us. And I think one of the things I just want to point out, when you're decorating these tables, pay very good attention to the detail in the photos. We've tried to create variety between the flatware we use, the dinnerware we use, and the glassware we use between all of our different tables. So this one has the brass flatware with the Cassiopeia glassware that you can use for casual or for entertaining nights. For casual seating on the other side of Decorator, we're just going to pass by our favorite retreat sofa. So retreat here in Dubai Mall, we're showing 2 facing each other. A couple of the other stores will also do this, but most of you will just be showing one. Retreat in most stores is going to be shown in this metal velvet. This is our #1 selling fabric in this sofa. And there are orders coming in for those of you that have sold out during the holiday season. There's lots of orders coming in over and over through the year. This is a core collection that we will continue to carry forward. And you'll see the retreat is tied back with black and white pillows with a little hint of blush. So here we have the cut velvet arches, which you've seen before, but in a new black color. And then this ties back to the second wall that you'll see in a second that has the more muted tones. I just want to point out the panoramic coffee table here. So this was a coffee table that everyone had for the holiday season, but it now comes in a new pop-up finish. Which you will have in some of our flagship stores. So this game that we just knocked over is actually a really cool collection. Some of you may have seen this in the holiday season in an acrylic material. It's a stacking game where you pull the pieces out and you try not to knock them over, as I just did. But this one comes in marble, which you can sit in your Decorator Concept. I would advise that everyone have shoppable stock there and also one for people to play with so they understand what it's for. Carrying over to our second casual seating footprint in Decorator, we have the Monroes Sofa. Monroe, as you know, was introduced last season and has been doing well for us. Monroes tied back to some of our more pink blush pillows in Decorator to play off with a really dark fabric. Some of you will have a different sofa for this, but you can decorate it exactly the way it is in the photo. And then I think to point out of importance, whenever you're doing your coffee table, you'll see in the photos we send you, there will be a setup on top that has the way you actually will live with it in your house, and then there should be shoppable underneath. So in this one, we've actually sold a bunch from yesterday already, but you will want to have shoppable candles so that if a customer sees this, instead of taking the candle from the top, they can take it from underneath, and it helps you with replenishment and growing sales. As we come over here, you will see the second wall in the Decorator Concept. So this is, again, lots of velvets and Mongolian, but a much more muted story. The main focus here is white and gold with a hint of blush. So we've got the gold rainwater candles that we've had for a while. Mercury is coming back in the hex shape, as well as the crosshatch Mercury in the gold and the rose gold. And then you'll see hints of black in this wall, non-dominant, towards the bottom. This is where we have this brand new Tricolor velvet pillow. So again, this is another really cool take on velvet, an update for West Elm, where you've got very muted tones in 3 different colors that help pull out the different patterns in the pillow. And this comes in the ivory with yellow and the ivory with blush. Sitting next to this wall is our Andy's bed. So Andy's everybody is familiar with. It's one of our top-selling bed collections. There will be a few stores showing it in this new blue fabric, but most of you will have it in the metal velvet, which is your #1 seller. Obviously, the blue, again, is available in comms if you do want to sell it to your customers. And then on this bed, we have tencel bedding, which obviously we know is one of our best collections, best fabric selling and bedding. So this is the new tencel in an ombre. And then we have one of our first Alshaya exclusive beddings for the season. So this is the Metallic Shooting Stars Duvet collection. This collection comes in 2 colors. So this is the blue metal. And then in the back of the store, we'll show you another color. This is something that we have chosen with West Elm specifically for this market because we think it plays to the needs that our customers have been asking for. So we're really excited about launching this. It's a big buy for us. We just want to make sure we show it well. As we continue to walk through Decorator, a few small updates for the season. So foundations, our favorite vase collection, gets an update in marble. So foundations now comes in black marble, white marble, and green marble. There are a few pieces here that are still trailing that will be late for the season. They should be in time by when you guys set your floor sets. And then foundations comes out of the wall into a very small build-up. So for small stores, all you need to do is 2 towers with a little table. Bigger stores, you can add an extra stand. And just make sure it's shown with all the different collections, all the different sizes of foundations. What's very important is that nothing else but foundations lives here, so don't mix in other brass collections, other vase collections, because we really want to speak to the versatility of the foundations collection. And then I just want to point out something that we're trying this season in Decorator. We have pulled out gold lacquer trays. So gold lacquer is our #1 selling tray color in the metallic tray collections. And then we have hammered rose gold, which is our second best selling hammered collection after the silver. and in a way to pull these out of tabletop to create more room in tabletop, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, we brought this into Decorator Concept. So most of you will have 1 or 2 bays, not necessarily 3 bays to do this. So when you see the photo and it's this large and expanded, just know that you can either do this in 1 bay or you can do it in 2 bays. Just make sure these 2 collections are represented together. For Decorator, there's one more new sofa that I want to show everyone. So again, playing on this whole theme of femininity and bringing out the feminine touch, we have our most feminine sofa in the store. So here you've got in this blush fabric, the roll arm sofa. So some of you will be showing this, some of you will be showing the Lola. The Lola is the exact same color. The only difference is that it has separate cushions and the back has tufts, little tufted buttons, which is in the KSA market. So outside of KSA, you'll have the roll arm, and in KSA, it'll be split. Also, with the roll arm sofa, we have a brand new rug. So there's lots of different rugs that we've introduced this season. The really cool thing about this one is it's one of the first hand-knotted rugs we've had in West Elm in this market. So hand-knotted rugs are a little more expensive, mainly because they're literally hand-knotted by an artisan instead of done with a machine or with a gun tufting. So there's intricate detail in the patterns. They're all slightly different, which speaks to the uniqueness of the item itself. And then there's one more rug that you guys should be familiar with, but we've introduced it into a new color this season. So this will sit under your mix and match dining table. We've got the Arabesque Rug in the blush color. So Arabesque in the gray and the stone have been really good sellers for us. We're introducing this as an exclusive Middle East stocked item in this blush color to test out things that we know customers have been asking for. So we're really excited about launching this for you guys, and hopefully it'll help your sales. That's all for Decorator. In Pure this season, we play on what we know has done well in past seasons with different color stories in a cool wall and a warm wall. But we've also introduced a new sectional which sits dominant for most of you in Pure. So right behind me is the Newport sectional. For those of you that have been with us for a long time, when you see this, you'll probably remember the Dekalb leather sofa. So this is taken off of the idea of a chunky arm, really thick cushions, and it has a wood frame. So it's a very deep seat, very comfortable sofa. Currently it only comes in this configuration, so you can do either left or right with the arm and the chaise. But what I want to make sure we understand and play on this when we're talking to customers is that this is a brand new fabric for West Elm. So for those of you who worked in Pottery Barn, you've seen linens before, but West Elm typically doesn't do sofas in linen. This is called coastal linen, and it's actually a performance fabric. So if you remember Haven from last season, Haven has a performance fabric that's water repellent, water resistant. This is also the same and has the same versatility. It doesn't mean it's stain resistant, but it will hold up better to families with children or if you're entertaining. So Newport also sits with a brand new coffee table. This is the live edge coffee table. This is a solid piece of wood from a tree. Every single one of them is slightly different because they're hand finished based on the finish on the bark, and this comes in a console also that you will see in this footprint. If you turn and look at our pillow wall that's flanked with the Newport sofa, you will see all of the cool colors this season. So in your photos, this will be called Pure Wall Cool. This has a lot of pillows that you're familiar with, so the ink abstract in blue, cotton canvas in blue, and some Mongolian, but then we've got newness in pattern pillows. So Cool Landscape is probably the best pillow to give you the idea for the season. You'll see replication in this idea with the bedding in Pure and the rugs in Pure. And it's basically taking the idea of like a landscape painting and throwing it onto a pillow. This one's really great because it's cool material, so it's much softer. And you can actually mix and match with any color. So if you have people who like blue, you can do blues. If you like yellows or pinks, you can do yellows or pinks. Continuing on through Pure, we get to our first dining footprint. So in our larger stores, we have the Tahoe dining table, which you see here. For others of you, that will be the Emerson dining table. Regardless of which table you're showing, the setup should look like this. So we are testing new colors in our Pure vases this season. So we've got, if you remember the Pure White, it now comes in a black color and a clay color in select sizes. And then we've paired that with this table to create a really pure, earthy look with the Canto Dinnerware. which is now back in stock, and then new earth tone linens. For those of you that do have the Tahoe dining table, this is the first solid wood dining table. So 100% solid wood. There's no solid wood with veneer, it's all solid wood. Because of that, and because of where it's made, in Indonesia, where there's high humidity, when you get this table, you may notice that the edges are slightly longer than the actual leg seam. And in different markets, so in Dubai there's more humidity than in Kuwait. So in Dubai this will shrink a little slower, whereas in Kuwait it will shrink faster because of the humidity, and the wood will get to its normal finished shape. So if customers do buy this and they're concerned about that little lip, just let them know that over time, between 6 to 12 months, it will shrink back to the perfect size. This was specifically done and specifically created larger because of the humidity in Indonesia, and they knew that if they did it the right size, when it left Indonesia, it would shrink and not be correct. So it will get to its correct size over time. Moving on through Pure, we in this store have the Haven Sectional. So Haven has been around for a while, and you guys know that it used to come in a sofa. It comes in a sofa with chaise, as you see here. There is actually now available in the warehouse the armless sofa, so you can do it in this configuration. You can add an armless and make it longer for people who have bigger living rooms. You can do 2 chaises and armless, so it's becoming more versatile. And this theme will continue in the future. One of the big things for Pure that we want to make sure we emphasize is that we have family-friendly sofas. So they're really deep, they're really cushy, they're performance fabrics. So in the similar way that Newport has a performance fabric, this Haven is also performance fabric in the cotton, which again is not stain proof, but stain resistant and should hold up better with people with families. The second wall in Pure is our warm wall. So in this store it's split between 2 sides. Again, you'll see the photos side by side, but this just carries on the same theme that you saw on the cool wall, but in warm colors. Exciting trends for this season in this color story is this rust and amber color. So you'll see that in the Cruel Landscape pillow. You'll see this in the dip dye pillow. And as this lays out in your store, you'll notice that these warm tones actually tie really well together with neutrals, with some of the dark blues. So it creates a lot of versatility for customers to kind of mix and match pillows together. We've also got fun, really pop colors. The embroidered ones here that look a little bit like DNA, but this is kind of to play on people who want really bright colors. We know that's a need in our market, so we want to make sure we emphasize that also. The third footprint in Pure is our leather sofa. So some stores will have the Axle, some stores will have the Hamilton. As we get there, you'll see in Dubai Mall, we have the Axle sofa with the Ottoman. So for those of you showing the Axle, I think it's split between different colors based on the inventory available in the market. Here you've got the sofa. You can throw the Ottoman here and turn it into a sofa with chaise, which is really nice. The Hamilton obviously doesn't have the Ottoman to do that, but Hamilton is our #1 selling sofa. So for those of you that have that, that's also really great when customers are looking for leather. Leather, again, is a really great performance fabric because it's leather. Leather is easy to clean. It doesn't stain. You can get liquid off of it really easily. So then as you think about the whole Pure concept, we've got 2 performance fabric sectionals. We've got leather, which is a performance material. So when you have customers coming in who have lots of kids and families, this is a really great destination to bring them if they're worried about cleaning up and taking care of materials. Layered behind the Axle sofa in this store, we have the lantern wall for Pure. So this lays different places in your stores, but again, it's basically the same as what you've seen before. Currently, there's no newness in here. There is a new lantern that will be arriving in a few weeks, so most of you will have it before your floor set that goes in here. Again, in your photo book, there'll be notes that tell you what that lantern looks like, but it's similar to the mid-century, except it has fabric, and there's larger sizes which can sit on the floor, which is nice. And then lastly, in Pure, we have our Pure bed footprint. So here, all of you will be showing the Haven bed. So Haven bed is the exact same fabric as the Haven sectional, again in the same performance fabric, which is really great. And then Haven bed is paired with the Abstract Landscape Duvet in Tencel. So Tencel normally doesn't live in our Pure concept, but one of the things that we're trying to do is play on fabrics that we know sell really well for us and mixing those as much as possible into other concepts. So obviously Tencel lives in bedding, Tencel lives in decorator, and now this season we put some Tencel in pure, and then in modern you'll see some of our other fabrics. So this is very similar to the abstract landscape pillow, and it plays on those earthy tones, which is a lot of the inspiration for pure. You know, our whole idea with the pure concept is bringing what's outside indoors, and if you can't do that with natural materials all the time, you can do it with the scenery in the abstract landscape pillow and with the bedding here. And then we have a new chandelier in pure, which is called the Rattan Pendant. This is not a huge buy for us. It's a very new fabric, so again we've brought it in as a test, and it kind of pulls that whole idea together of bringing the outdoors in pure. Our second dining table in pure is the Anton dining table. So Anton has done amazingly well in stores to the fact that it's sold out on a lot of markets. There's a lot of inventory coming in January, so please make sure you keep your floor samples till the newness arrives. And this season in Anton, we've taken our textured dinnerware, which we've had for a very long time, and paired it with the update in these new colored bowls. So textured bowls now come in 3 different colors, light blue, dark blue, and a graphite gray. Which is what you see here. On top of this, coming in a few weeks, is a brand new dinnerware collection that you'll have notes in your photo book about, called Wonky Ware. So Wonky Ware is a collaboration with a designer that makes really cool earthy platters and bowls with deep impressions and hues of natural colors. So again, tying into that whole earthy feel. So once Wonky Ware arrives, it will live here. One last thing that I just wanted to show you guys in the pure concept. So not all stores will have space to do this, but in our larger stores where you do have space, please try to do this. So we want to create little moments of lighting build-outs. So Hudson Lamp, also known as weighted sticks, we have in really good quantity outside of KSA. And then this ties really well into the pure concepts. You'll notice in one of the sofa footprints, there's 2 Hudson lamps, either 2 floors or 2 sides. So bringing all the different fabrics and finishes that this comes in a little build out where you have space in pure is just another way to kind of focus on the importance of lighting when decorating. And that's all for pure. For modern this season, we'll continue to see lots of bright colors paired with our sofas that we've had for many seasons. So we've got the Eddie sofa, we've got the Harris sofa that was launched in holiday, and then we've pulled urban into modern, which we will talk about shortly. So here in the Eddie sofa, in this store we've got it in the dark color. Most of you that will be showing Eddie will have it in the feather gray, which is our top seller. Split between the 3-seater, the 2-seater, or the sectional. Newness in this footprint is basically shown in the textiles. So we've got corded textiles in a 12 by 21 as well as a 20 by 20. Playing on those really fun colors that I mentioned earlier, you've got really bright abstract colors pulled together, and this is the only concept that this really works well for us. So for us, we think about modern for someone who has a very busy life, who likes to have fun, who likes really bright and exciting things, and they want to come home and feel inspired by these bright colors, which is what you'll see when you walk through the entire concept. Above the Eddie sofa here, you'll see that we have this 3-shelf display. This should be done in all stores. You guys have these shelves in the wire already, and it's fairly easy to create. This is just a visual cue to kind of talk about some of the solids in the modern concept and how they pull together with all the fun pattern pillows we have that we'll show you. So the Harris sectional behind me, everyone should have this in your store. This was a late introduction in Holiday 19. Harris is coming in very large quantities to all markets. It has been off to a slow start, but we do believe that a lot of that has to do with the lateness and that most of us only had floor samples to show customers. The great thing about Harris is inside you've got a sleeper sofa and a storage chaise, and for the cost of the sectional and being able to get a bed with it, it's a really great value for customers. So great for people with apartments or who have people who come over to visit a lot. Again, in this footprint, you'll see some of the bright colored pillows. So we've got this yellow in the new 24 size, and this super fun coral color of the season, which pairs with a lot of the blues. Wall number 1 in modern behind me has all the yellows, the coral and blue colors tied together with the new abstract pillows. One of the big things I want to make sure we focus on when we set these walls is to have a really good representation of these new throws. So throws have been a great seller for us, and we found that the more we put on the floor, the more they sell. So you'll see in every single photo that you get of this, there's at least 4 to 8 shoppable throws of each color that pair really well with the solid and the pattern pillows in this wall. Also in this wall, towards the other side, you will see that we have this brand new basket collection. So these are really cool baskets. They're really great price point that come in different sizes. You can use them to store accessories, store throws, pillows, whatever works best for you in your house. New vases in the modern concept. We have additional new colors in the curved vases that we had from last season, and then we have this new silhouette in ginger jars. So the ginger jars come in 2 different colors. We've got the small one in the ivory color and the large one in the pink color. Our first dining table in the modern concept is the Jack's dining table. This was introduced last season in select stores, and as much as possible, all of you will be showing this season. We have this paired with Carlo Dinnerware, which is one of our top-selling pure dinnerware collections, and then paired with these new abstract bowls, which come in yellow and blue. One of the big things we want to make sure we emphasize this season is that for every footprint, you have a place setting to make sure you have a chair. So on your X grid, if this table comes with 4 chairs, you want to make sure you have 4 footprints. If it shows 2 chairs, you do 2 place settings. In this store, we've paired it with the Berkeley bar. Some of you have it with the buffet instead. Irregardless of which one you're showing, you want to make sure you start out with these new trays that we have in blue and yellow, as well as some shoppable inventory inside, and then paired with the chandelier shown in your footprint guide. A new thing that we're trying in modern this season is bringing planters into the concept. So in this wall, you'll see we have in our medium and large almost every style of planter that we carry. So you've got spun in here, you've got these new collections in blue and yellow and black and turned wood. This is not the only place in your store you'll show planters, but it is where we want to make sure these collections are represented, and then all the other collections can sit in your outdoor or your garden section as per your map. There's a new small dining table for modern coming called the Sparrow, which currently is not here, which will sit here. But I just want to make sure I show you guys. So in the Sparrow table, we will be showing the organic dinnerware in these new bowls. So that comes in green and dark blue. And select stores will be getting these vases, not all stores. But for those of you who will be getting these, we will pair this with the Sparrow table also. The really cool thing about these vases, for those of you who do have them, is that they are hand painted. They come in very, very small quantities. So when people buy these, only a few hundred people in the world will have them versus what we typically make in the thousands. They are a higher price point than our other vase collections, but that is because they're hand painted by artisans and not factory made. Continuing through our modern concept, we'll walk into our second room in Dubai Mall. A lot of you, this will be in the area behind the loft or on the side of the loft. And then here we're walking into the chrome trestle table. So you guys know this table, you had it last season. She has a very, very nice update this season with the botanical plates. So these plates are inverted botanical. They pair back to the organic collection. So you'll see we've styled it here with organic dinner plates with shoppable of this collection. And then glassware and barware to show people how to tie it together. Continuing through, off on the right, you'll see our grid tufted bed. So for the modern bed this season, we've tried to bring out our brand new organic cotton percale bedding. So we've had organic cotton for many years with a little embroidery. The brand new organic cotton percale is fully solid, and it comes in multiple colors, which will live in your bedding shop. But here we've paired the white and the yellow with the midnight blue quilt. Again, pulling on that whole idea of yellows and blues tied together and showing customers ways they can layer duvets instead of just having one. If they want that really fun look that West Elm is so proud of, these are the different materials they can pull together. The last casual seating footprint in modern this season is urban. So for those of you who have had urban in the past, historically urban lives in pure. The main reason for that is it's a flexible sofa. So the fabric works really well with pure. And the gray also works really well with modern. If you look at the sofa and you think about the style of the sofa, it's squared arms, very, very squared cushions. It's everything that we talk about for modern, so it's a perfect fit into the modern concept this season. Urban will sit next to your modern wall 2. So modern wall 2 here is layered with foundations in nickel. So we've taken the nickel foundations out of Decorator and put it into modern to kind of highlight that whole look of silver. And then we've got new pillows in modern and multiple collections. So you've got these Cody Hoyt pillows which come in gray and yellow. And then the crosshatch Cody Hoyt with a little bit of metallic. So as we continue to grow and understand that customers across all concepts like a little bit of shine, you will notice that there's more metallics being inverted into different concepts. So this season, modern has a little metallic. In the future, you'll see pure has a little more metallic also. For this wall, one of the big things is to make sure that you have a lot of throws. So I know I mentioned that for the first wall, but this wall should really be about 40% throws. In the waffle weave and the waffle wheel speckle collection, we did this during the holiday season and we sold a much higher quantity of throws than we had previously. So we want to continue on that success to grow your business. People may not always update their pillows, but throws are a great, easy, affordable way to update their living room with a little bit of color. And it's also a great gift to throw when going to people's houses. And that is all for modern. This season in tabletop, you will notice by looking at your maps that we've decided to do a massive expansion as much as possible based on the size of your store. So all stores will have expanded dinnerware bays, all stores should have 2 glassware bays, and all stores should have at least 2, if not more, of trays. So as we walk through the tabletop destination, I'll just point out some of the tables we've set here. Again, just make sure you're following the photos in the photo book based on your assortment. This store has several more tables than most people. So some of these you may not be able to set. The first table you see here is with our Ocean Waves collection and our Silhouette Oval table. Ocean Waves is a really great seller for us. And here what we've done is pulled together our green Finley velvet chairs, which are now back in stock, which have been really great, and tied together with this look that is a little more masculine than we typically do for tables, just so we balance our masculine and feminine tables in the store. The second table you see here is the red stripe dinnerware. So this dinnerware was introduced in holiday and will carry over through this season because of the inventory we currently own. It's a really great stoneware collection to bring fun pops of colors into your house. If people don't necessarily want to pair all of the red stripe together, they can easily pair this with Kalo or another collection, or just buy bowls or salad plates for entertaining when they have people over. Again, in tabletop, one of the things we want to emphasize is that every single place setting needs to have a napkin, needs to have multiple glasses, and needs to have flatware. If you don't have flatware available in a specific color, there's other colors you can use. So we've got essential flatware in silver, prominent flatware in silver, and then we've got our standard flatware collections in the brass and silver also. But very important to show customers all the pieces that go together to make sure they're getting the full look. The barge this season in tabletop continues to house linens. So the ultimate look should end up like this. You'll see the photo in the photo book. But again, some of us have different inventory of linens. So as long as it's not on markdown, we want to make sure we house it here. What we've done in Dubai Mall is make sure the newness, the new colors is layered on this side to the right of the flatware. And then some of the old collections that we have larger quantities of these colors that don't necessarily pair well with the newness are off on their own. And then on the back side for everyone, all the additional napkins you have should be organized very well by color to make sure customers can see everything to buy. So I want to talk a little bit about our dinnerware wall this season. So in this store, we've got 8 dinnerware bays. Every single store will have larger bays than they've had in the past. And again, that's based on your map. And then there's a specific guide that will come out in the photo book that tells you exactly which dinnerware goes where. So the whole idea with dinnerware this season is that the top 2 shelves are display vignettes. So in doing this, we are able to show up to 22 collections of dinnerware, so collections / color. So you'll notice here, if we look at the first one, you've got organic and organic. So what it's meant to be is the organic in the solid white on the left, organic in the silver rim on the right. We are currently out of the organic without the silver rim, but when that comes in a few weeks, we'll fill that. So that's basically two ideas together. And then the one underneath is just one idea together. So rim dinnerware has multiple pieces, and then we wanted to show that as the full suite together. So again, the guide will come in the photo book that tells you which collections go together. What I just want to make sure I emphasize is that when it says display shelf, they need to be standing up. The dinner plate, the salad plate should have a cereal bowl, a mug with it, and if you can fit a serving bowl, great. Just for the top two shelves, all the way across. All the other shelves are shoppable dinnerware. So here again for organic, you've got organic vignette, rim vignette, and then you've got shoppable organic, shoppable rim. And this whole idea carries out throughout the whole dinnerware wall. If you look across from left to right, you will see all of our collections separated, starting with the whites, to reactive, to the metallics, the abstract, the calo, and so on. It's super important this season that we follow the guide that's sent. We've done massive investment in dinnerware that should be arriving in a few weeks, and this plan is based on the dinnerware that's coming. Another thing that we've changed this season in tabletop is our kitchen wall. So we don't really have kitchen products, but we've been testing some of these calo storage containers. So we've got storage for snacks, for flour, for sugar, for coffee, and so on. Spoon rests to put next to your stove when you're cooking, salt and vinegar dispensers. So what we've done is we've pulled all that calo, those kitchen essentials, with the wooden serveware, wooden bowls, and a little bit of marble. So this is a really great way to have a different idea for our customers instead of throwing it all over the place. An important wall for you to have in your store. Our entertaining wall in tabletop this season, in this store, it might be a little different than your store. Some of you have 4 bays, some of you have more bays, some of you have less. What is incredibly important is that we make sure we have silver hammered as your number 1 bay. You have 2 bays of glassware, and then you do metallic trays with gold, and then if you have more, you can do your modern trays to continue the full look of entertaining. So entertaining should only have barware, glassware, trays, and hammered. The hammered rose gold should not be in here. It should only be in your Decorator Concept, as you saw earlier. For coasters this season, so currently what you're looking at is the shelf for coasters as they're piled up. This is not the final look. We've actually created acrylic jars for every store, so you'll have 4 of those in each of these shelves to separate all your coaster collections for a little organized look. As we move through the rest of tabletop, we're just coming over to this expanded wall. This is only happening in Dubai Mall because no other stores have this wall. But the reason I want to show you guys is just to emphasize the importance of trays. Trays make up a huge percentage of our tabletop business. Metallic gold, metallic silver being the top trays, and then the lacquer in white, and then the wood trays after that. So for any store that has extra space, after you've set everything that is required, so your dinnerware wall, your kitchen wall, your furniture walls, and your entertaining wall in tabletop, or if you have space in other destinations, trays that make sense should be what we set there. The last table, just to show you guys, is in this store we've got the Emerson 120-inch table with the Canto dinnerware in the new white color. So if you remember, Canto that was introduced last year came in for 1 season and completely sold out. It's a higher price point collection, but customers really love the feel, the weight, and the flexibility of it. This again is a large buy for us, so depending on what your table is that you're showing here, we want to make sure we show this collection. Again, these instructions will be in your photo book. And that's all for tabletop. This season in bedding and bath, you guys will notice based on your maps that there's a lot of changes. So we've done an expansion in bath for spring 20. All stores will need to have 6 bath bays as long as the bath build out. So I'm just going to show you what we've done in Dubai Mall. This store is slightly larger, has 8 bays. But besides the 2 end bays, we've got all of these 6 bays with new bedding and new towels and new bath collection. So this literally houses every single bath collection that is core and carryover. Similar to how we talked about tabletop, there will be a guide in the photo book that tells you exactly which bedding goes on every single shelf. And this is really important to follow, as this is based on the buys for your market and our best sellers for the season. Here at the bath display, we've paired the brand new Penelope collection in the gray color to house some of the towels guest towels from the holiday season, bath soaps, and extra collections. All stores should have this wall that we supplied to you last season, and then this mirror. If you don't have this specific mirror in your market, please make sure you use a metal frame mirror in brass, which people can also use in their bathroom. The first wall I'd like to talk about in bedding is organic wash cotton. So there's a new introduction of organic wash cotton this season. We touched on this a little bit in the modern concept. If you look here, the organic wash cotton with the embroidery is from last season, and the organic wash cotton without the embroidery is new for this season. On your tags, you will notice the difference. The one from last season will just say wash cotton. The one from this season, which is new, will say wash cotton percale. So this is a softer finish, and it comes in more colors. What we've tried to do here on this wall is show the breadth of color for this collection. So you've got the brand new yellow, we've got pink, we've got gray, we've got white, and then also non-dominant, we have here the new blue color. So what's really important is when you're setting all your bedding walls is to make sure you start with your duvets and run all the colors that come in that collection, and then have either paired quilts that work with it or additional duvets, and then sheet sets and so on going through the wall. So when your customer comes in and they see this yellow and they love this yellow, they can pick this up and they can be like, okay, this blanket goes with it, maybe the sheet sets here that go with it, and so on. Wash cotton sheet sets, I think, are running late for the season, so while the duvets are here, there will be more sheet sets coming soon. All of your beds for this season will be shown in the photo book, so I won't touch on them here, but when you do set your beds, please make sure you pay attention to the detail photos. So there'll be a bed of the photo, and then there's a smaller photo next to it which shows all the layers. So just for example, if we look at this velvet bed, which most of you won't have this bed, it's just for expanded stores. The detail photo will show that you've got this throw, that you've got the pink, slightly layered on top of the platinum, with this white pillow angled on top of this pillow. So it's very, very important that when you look at the photos, you do them exactly as they are. So if the pillow is straight and they're three against the back, that was done for a specific reason. If they're angled, if they're sitting straight up or sitting flat, that was done for a specific reason. We want to make sure we show people all the versatility with our bedding and so on. The second wall that we are looking at here in bedding is just carryover velvet. So in this store, we've got the 4 colors of crinkle velvet, again, showing all the duvets. And then we've paired that with Mongolian pillows that you can pair with those colors, and faux fur throws, and then more duvets on the bottom, and then more pillows on the bottom. This is just a way to pull together velvet and fur, which is not a big buy for spring, but it's carryover throughout the year. We want to make sure we represent it on the store. A lot of you won't have 4 bays to do this in. On your map, it might be 2 bays. Some of you might be on a tower. But this idea is what we want you to follow when you're setting it. As we walk through the rest of bedding, I do want to point out one of the new beds we have. So a lot of you will not have this in your store. However, I just wanted to show you because I think a lot of your customers might be interested in buying it. So Andy's, which as you know is a great seller for us, now comes in this extra wide. It's basically the size of the Andy's bed with 2 flat wings on each side. So for customers that have large living rooms, this is a really great way to fill up wall space. This is available in comps for anyone to sell, and we're just testing it in a few stores to see how it does. So if you want more information on this, you can go on the website. It gives you all the dimensions and product information. Build-outs continue to be really important in our bedding destination. Again, you'll get photos of these, but just to point out, we've got this silver build-out with Penelope. So we've got the entire fluted mirror collection. We've brought in the frames, we brought in the little storage boxes and the trinket trays to create a full look. So this looks really good because it's all silver. If you're mixed silver with brass, you start to break the idea. Like customers that want a specific color want to see everything that works in that color. So it's important in your build-outs to separate your brasses from your silvers, from your woods, and so on. As we walk over in bedding, we come to our number 1 wall. This is the money maker for all of us. So here you will see 8 full bays of tencel. Tencel bedding, we have spent a lot of time with the brand team and the host brand making sure we can get exclusive, solid colors in tencel bedding. So they have finally arrived. Duvet colors are fully in stock. Again, sheet sets will be arriving late. But as you look at this wall, you've got tencel solid duvet in gray, in the blush pink, in gray again, in wasabi, in blue, the brand new graphite color, and the brand new midnight blue color. So similarly to how we talked about with the wash cotton wall, you want to have the top with your solid duvets, and then your second shelves are more duvets but patterns. So if you're buying this blue and you want a second duvet that works well with it, or you just like that color, you can see a pattern duvet. And then under that, you've got the Tencel Matelassé in solid colors, which pair well. And then you have either more duvets, sheet sets, or quilts. As you set your walls, please ensure that when you're doing your displays, you follow the photos as they are. If we've paired this sheet set with this quilt pillow and so on, there's a specific reason, because we found that they sell well together or that they work well together. When you're doing your hanging vignettes, it's always important to have minimum 2 layers, but if you can, 3 layers. So the customer knows if they buy this duvet, this quilt works well, this throw works well with it. Here on our Stella bed, you'll see one of our new duvet collections for the season, the Lush Floral Duvet Collection, which you will all be getting. But even more exciting than that, I would like to point out our Roaring Rabbit bed. So Roaring Rabbit is our #1 selling fabric bed. Specifically in our KSA market, the blush does amazingly well. So we always try to prioritize what we think is going to be our best-selling bedding collection that works with Roaring Rabbit really well. So this season we've got 2 more Alshaya exclusives paired together on this bed. Sateen Chinoiserie. So the chinoiserie is a specific type of pattern, typically with birds, birds, flowers, and branches. So this one comes in a blush with hints of yellow, hints of darker pink, and it's an ombre pattern that goes from pink all the way to white. So you will all have this in your store. And then we've paired that with the second color in the metallic shooting stars. So metallic shooting stars that I showed you on the Andy's bed in Decorator, the one up there was in the metal blue color, and this one is in the champagne color. Again, this is an Alshaya Middle Eastern exclusive with West Elm that we've bought really heavily, and we want to make sure it's shown prominently in our bedding destination. As we continue through bedding, we've got one more wall to talk through. So after Tencel, one of our really good sellers is organic cotton bedding. So typically in the past, we've had a big white wall of organic textural white cotton, and we continue to do that this season. In the Dubai Mall store, they will have 8 bays. Most of you won't do this because you don't have the space or the inventory to do that. But what's most important are these 4 center bays. So everything that is white, textural, organic cotton lives here. You've got collections from the past, and you've got new collections. The great thing about this is that people who want multiple duvets can layer them together. And the way we try to show this wall is on our mod bed. So everyone will be showing this mod bed this season, and it's the first time we've done 3 duvets together. So you've got all 3 brand new organic textural duvets shown here. Again, we have lots of other collections from past seasons that can work, but for this bed we want to show these 3 collections. Now most people won't buy 3 duvets, but at least you're showing them that like this works really well with these pillows. If they only want 1 duvet, they can get pillows in this pattern together, which is why it's really important. Again, pay attention to the detail of how they're layered to make sure that the bed looks really full and inspirational. And that is all for bedding. Hi guys, I just wanted to finish up in our outdoor room that you see here. We didn't talk about outdoor because it's carryover from past seasons, so you can just continue to do what you've done in the past and follow the photos. But thank you for walking through. I'm excited to see all your photos once you set your floor set in a couple weeks, and best of luck.